'cause soundtrack is playing. And whenever soundtrack is playing, I'm not sleeping. No. Bad girl representing the soundtrack. Artistry.com.
Yeah, you may send them on a Dexter that's to represent the soundtrack.
Well, this is soundtrack radio. And if you think that they have so nobody now hear you.
Give me the soundtrack I want to.
Yes, people. Oh, you're listening to soundtrack.
Baby, this one is for you. Good morning. If you're not with me, then I'm calling. I need to know where you are. I would go anywhere you are. Yeah. Good morning. You know I'm tired of the calling. Baby, I need you 'cause I'm morning. Right now I travel through the stars. I'm tired of the late night news. I wanna call you when I wanna call you. What we did yesterday was so news. Wait a minute, did by the rule. It's just the way we live and the way we live, let's go. We just spend time in a page, baby, let's go. Boy, take it by the rule. Telephone love, just that on me mind. Telephone love, some sweet. Baby, this one is for you.
Soundtrack radio, yeah.
Good morning. If you're not with me, then I'm calling. I need to know where you are. I would go anywhere you are. Yeah. Good morning. You know I'm tired of the calling. Baby, I need you 'cause I'm morning. Right now I travel through the stars. I'm tired of the late night news. I wanna call you when I wanna call you. What we did yesterday was so news. Wait a minute, did it by the rule. It's just the way we live and the way we live, let's go. We just spend time in a beach, baby, let's go. Boy, take it by the rule. Telephone love, just that on me mind. Telephone love, some sweet on the line. Telephone love, just that on me mind. Telephone love, some sweet every time. Good morning, I see you miss my last calling. Right now I'm riding in my car, heading straight to where you are. Whoa, yeah. Good morning, yeah. I really needed this morning. Since the last call, I've been waiting for you to show up. Been chatting and people want so much. Tired of the late night news, yeah. Wanna call when I wanna call you. What we did yesterday was so news. Wait a minute, did it by the rule. It's just the way we live and the way we live, let's go. We just spend time in a beach, baby, let's go. Boy, take it by the rule. Telephone love, just that on me. Yeah, this is Jack here, tuning in to Soundtrack Radio. Dig? Crucial, yeah. Soundtrack Radio. Here we go. Good morning. If you're not with me, then I'm calling. I need to know where you are. Soundtrack I listen from afar. Yeah. Good morning. Soundtrack of the people calling. You know them need you every morning. Soundtrack to travel through the stars, yeah. Tired of them old radio shows. Wanna hear soundtrack when they want to. Soundtrack bring the message to the people. Yes, we will bring the people. Just the way them living and where them living, them tell them go. Soundtrack on Soundtrack Radio. Oh. Soundtrack Radio. Telephone love, just step on me mind. Telephone love, soundtrack every time. Sound chat depend with mine. Tune into sound chat at night. Sound chat radio. As if the last call when we go back. Video chat and people are so mad. Sound chat wanna call you. Yes, the respect is due. Yes, it goes out to you. Night news. I call you when I wanna call you. What we did yesterday was on yours. Sound chat, give them by the rules. Way we living the way we living, let's go. You need the sound chat radio. Hey, hey, hey. Play it by the rules.
Better than the stars. You're my one and only. Bloomy little lady, moon is shining bright. You're looking good this evening. Girl, you're easy on my eyes. I'm glad I got to meet you. You're the feature presentation of this evening. And it's oh so nice. Oh, and I can't tell you how my heart is beating, girl, racing deep inside. And I start pouring a couple, trying my best to calm these butterflies. 'Cause girl, you are so lovely. Better than the stars. You're my one and only. Yeah. Bloomy little lady, moon is shining bright. You're looking good this evening. Girl, you're easy on my eyes. I'm glad I got to meet you. You're the feature presentation of this
Yes,
evening.
people. Now you're listening to
And
Sound
it's
Chat.
oh so nice. Oh, and I can't tell you how my heart is beating, girl, racing deep inside. And I start pouring a couple, trying my best to calm these butterflies. 'Cause girl, you are so lovely. Better than the stars, better than the heavens above me. Girl, you are so lovely. Better than the sun, better than the clouds. Girl, just love me. Yeah. It's amazing how you naturally attract me with your charm. You're appealing. Just the way you make me smile. All the while, all the while.
You know this is Zaga
And
representing
girl,
for
you
Sound
are a
Chat.
cut above the rest. Your things turn up past the ceiling. They can't touch your style. Oh, and I can't tell you how my heart is beating, girl, race inside. Oh, girl, I start pouring a couple, trying my best.
Shouts to everybody locked into Rumble Fridays, Thursdays, I should say. Sorry. Cheers. Big up to those of you in that chat room. Everybody locked into irishandchin.com. It's been a crazy week. So there's so much to talk about. Shouts to Drew in the building also.
Yeah.
718-554-8598 is that number in studio. And today it's just going to be myself, Drew, also, and the phone line, 718-554-8598. Shouts to everybody locked in on that Facebook Live.
So weird, Ninja still pulling that I'm sick thing.
Well, Ninja is in between sick and on his way to Europe. Right? So, yeah, forgive my look black. 718-554-8598 is that number in studio. Big up to everyone. And this is the show that we have for 2 hours. We set 2 hours aside throughout our busy week to just talk Sound Clash. And so far, the reviews for the Rumble Thursdays have been crazy. Everybody has been saying, boy, Chin, I'm glad that you guys are talking Sound Clash. So those of you who have been saying to me you want more Sound Clash conversation, please do us a favor and give us a call up so we're not in the room talking to ourselves for 2 hours. 718-554-8598 is that number in the studio. 718-554-8598. No, we done. Big up yourself. Big up to J Flex. Big up to Dexter Prince in the chat room. Big up, of course, to DJ Ayana. Big up yourself. Burner. Big up yourself. Mr. B. Big up to everybody in that chat room. Now, I heard that Magic, Black Magic has been going in. All right, so shouts to the Atlanta Sound.
I mean, me have to pick them up, yes.
Black Magic.
You can't, like make the hype die after you walk off of the stage. So definitely, big up Black Magic. And I have to name Cross too, because remember we did the dance and they played the D Brown, and I was like, I don't know if that's D Brown, but me still vote for it, but me never sure. And I think he was challenged online about it being a dub plate, and it come up online. I think it was Derek, the selector.
Yeah.
Played from intro. And D Brown called Black Magic naming night. It's just that probably the rhythm don't exist, so he had to play it with the 45 mixing, and then they go into the song.
Let me say something though, and I want a lot of you who are sound men really understand this, right? And then some of you probably don't because you're not cutting dubs from them time there. But you had some artists on some occasions where I don't know what it was, and it was mostly the cultural artists, the Rasta artists, them, right? Where they would do a dub for you, and way down in the third verse, they would mention your name. Now, back in them days there, I don't know what it was. Man never a stop artist and I say, yo, mention my name, because it wasn't like you can pick up, and start again like it is now. I remember being on King Agony, and I got our first set of Garnet Silk dubs, right? And we had the intro, of course, King Agony, blah, 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 blah. And then he started to sing, keep them talking, and there was no agony until like way down in the song. And we were so glad to get our first Garnet Silk, like, yes, we get it. But it was the same thing.
You have to play it long.
Yeah, you had to play it long. But back in them days, the dub could have played longer than they were playing now. You know what I mean? And, I saw the same situation, of course, with Mighty Crown. And I think Mighty Crown's Dennis Brown, too. It doesn't have the Mighty Crown, up at the top like how we doing it now. You know what I mean? Blessed are some of the sound systems who were able to be in the studio and be like, yo, Garnet, yo, D Brown, yo, this man, my name called right in the first verse. But a lot of us got dubs that our names weren't called right away. And we get some intro.
Yep.
We get some intro mention. So, you got to be careful how you challenge a man on his dub. And back in the days, if you challenge a man on him dub and it really is a dub, you're dead.
Yep.
It's not like, now everybody can run off their mouth.
Instant death.
I will never forget, Drew, and Minosa use a Addis man to art. I would never forget one night when I was in Biltmore. It was Saxon versus Addis, right? It was, the wriggle, right? Saxon versus Addis. Me never forget that as a youth, right? And I'm in the dance. You know what I mean? And Babyface said, only one sound in the world can play this. Addis. And then he drops, Guess Addis wriggle. Guess hella top and me say hella bottom. And the place lift up. Nitty gritty.
Damn, Nitty dead already too.
Nitty dead already. But this is what the greatest thing about Sound Clash used to be. Saxon never even wait for them round done. Right in the midst of everything, you just hear, guess Saxon wriggle. Guess Saxon wriggle. And it was the same exact dub, and it made Face look away. You know what I mean? But of course, Babyface wouldn't lock off him sound.
Of course not, but Rasta.
But he was supposed to, because that's an absolute no-no. When you challenge a man on a dub back from when we coming from, that's it.
I say a two-time Face make that mistake that too. In a build where I play against BS Alice, and him go challenge Squingy about Good God of My Salvation. I said, cause the tune new Prince was a plate pan thing as Face. I said, oh, a 45 that, 45. Scringy say, 45, play it back. Boom, bass and it's a name call. The crowd switch. That's it.
those were the good days. You know what I mean? Those were the good old days. Those days would never come back because now, first of all, in the one-on-one dances, I'm on Naga too. One-on-one dances are so structured now. Many of you might blame me for the structure too, but it's so structured now that I'm gonna go wait for him half an hour done. Then I'm gonna wait for the challengers half an hour done or their opponents half an hour to done for challenge. Yo, boy, 25 minutes ago, me hear you say,
yeah.
Ray. No, it wasn't like that. As you open your mouth and say, Ray, I'm on GP in same time.
Basically, did it the other night with So Supreme. Them said them are going to play a 2 the hard way with them alone in the world have. I think it was Alton Ellis and I want to say Ken Booth. I'm not sure who the second artist was. But when So Supreme come in, I say, hey boy, where say a while ago? And play a for them version. The same 2 artists. I said, boy, if all 10 years ago.
Dead. But you know what I think? So I think So Supreme didn't allow the second artist to come in. Was that the situation?
No, they didn't even have to. Yo, them play it. They didn't make it play to the second artist, but they said they had the combination.
Right.
And then the intro, it said it.
Back in the days, it would be an automatic, switch, crowd switch.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? 718-554-8598 is the number in studio. Of course, we're speaking Sound Clash up until 8 o'clock. This is what we do each and every week, right? It is called Rumble Talk. Got to remind you guys, of course, that the next Rumble is coming up very soon. It is in the UK. The UK Rumble. The UK Rumble. June 17th. And then a week later, exactly 7 days later, we do the Euro Rumble inside Wuppertal, Germany. I'm extremely excited about June because Sound Clash, boy.
Up on the road.
This Rumble thing. The Rumble thing is now creating so much havoc and controversy. Sound systems are now calling me and saying, yo, next year, me in Rumble. Yo, put me in Rumble. Yo, Chin, what me have to do for getting a Rumble? And all of the sounds that's calling me to ask me these questions are jugglers. Once upon a time before US Rumble 2017, I wouldn't even be able to call these people's phone to entertain clash conversation. Now the man, they must say, yo, put me in. I'm ready. And I feel good because I'm at a good place now where it gives me more of a variety of sound systems to choose from. As well as, it creates this necessary conversation. Because trust me, many people said Platinum Kids wasn't going to win, right? Wasn't going to win. There's no way a juggling sound could actually win a sound clash of this caliber, especially with the dub-loaded sound systems that they were going up against. And then Platinum Kids won. And I'm going to be honest with you. Judging from where I was standing in the audience, I didn't see Platinum Kids have one bad round.
No.
I'm not saying that they won every round, but there was not a bad round.
They were steady.
They were steady, confident, good songs, good speeches, and good forwards each and every single round. 718-554-8598 before we get into that UK Cup clash, because now a couple of my brethren them called me from the UK and they're like, yo, Chin, me wish you did wait till the US Rumble did over to make the UK clash lineup, because some juggling sound should have in the UK Cup, UK Rumble as well. You know what I mean? And I don't know if there's predominantly juggling sounds in Europe, but maybe juggling sounds now being in every Rumble is a great thing. Some people are saying no, and I don't understand why there's so much argument, because you have some hardcore people that saying, yo, say a foolishness the boy Chinga do. It's not me make Platinum Kids won. I didn't make them win. But there are people that's blaming me now for messing up the industry because, juggling song for win clash. There was this English lady there, and I don't want to mention her name, just for the sake of not, blowing her up on the radio. But she was going in. She was like, yo, this is not a real sound clash. How can these guys, look how they're dressed. They're in tight pants. How could they possibly win a song? No, this is foolishness. They shouldn't win. And she had that very strong Cockney accent, and she was going in on Platinum Kids just because they won. So you got some people that really believe that juggling sounds should never be on the winning side of any competition.
They should just be fillers.
718-554-8598.
Bloody hell.
Is that number. And I'm telling you, she was vexed.
She'll get over it.
She was very, very
Why,
vexed.
she can't come at World Clash and see them, let's see what them do at World Clash.
And there were other people also now that was upset as well as you have the what you call it, the boaty them. Before the clash, they must say hardcore juggling rules, hardcore clash rules. I know they must say, yeah man, I saw the juggling sound for deal with them. You know what I mean?
Two-side cutlass, man.
My thing is, and those of you who are listening on the stream, don't let us talk to ourselves. Please call in and have a vibe with us, right? Share vibes with us, right? It never hurts. It can only help the conversation. What's so good or so bad about juggling sounds coming into the clash thing? Like, if you really feel that I made a wrong decision by putting Platinum Kids in and allowing them to win, which I didn't allow them to win, but I guess I put them in, so I'm responsible for them winning in some regard, right? If you feel that I did a bad thing, call me up and let me know why you feel that it's a bad thing. There'll be no argument. I just want to get your side of it. Why do you feel like, Chin, you opening the gateways to let juggling sounds in is a bad thing? You mess up. I eat that thing you do. Those of you who see the positive side about it, call me up too and say, yo.
I mean, yo, like me, man, like me say, yo, been on no problem with a juggling sound. And I don't even like labeling sounds, cause we come from the era where sound is sound, you know what I mean? It's all about, end of the day, like I said the other night, it's about entertaining. You're playing music to entertain people. You know what I mean? The labels that you put on each other is what they are. I mean, yeah, some people dub heavy, but at the end of the day, no matter what kind of music you play, for dub plate or 45, you go out on that stage to entertain people. And that's what's going to separate everybody. Your ability to entertain an audience is what defines what you are. You know what I mean? So if that night you are war and you win, then yo, that night they are war sound. If tomorrow night you can tell a girl, say, boom, bang, biggie, yeah, then yo, that's you do that night then. You know what I mean? You got to be able to do everything.
Well, the other day we made a very interesting point, right? And I think it flew over so many people's heads. And, and I think many of you heard us, but you just don't want to say that you heard us because you just don't want to, acknowledge this part of the argument, right? When a sound like Ricky Trooper, Sound Troopers, Caller Please Hold, when a sound like Kilimanjaro, Black Cat, a lot of these sounds, they also juggle. They juggle a lot in Jamaica because not every time they come out and string up is a clash. Like, should the juggling sounds, Stone Love, Renaissance, whoever, get upset and say, yo, una have no business at juggle, una for clash, una not for in at the juggling thing. You know what I mean? I haven't heard juggling sounds cussing the clash sounds them for juggling. And everybody's has heard a cassette with Jara juggle, Sound Trooper juggle, Panther can't juggle, but he's attempted to juggle. You know what I mean? Bodyguard juggle. All of the clash sounds have juggled.
Silverhawk, everybody.
Call your life.
Yeah, Chin, me agree with you, right? Me not in the juggling song, class song thing. He finds a song. Because the thing about it, we have a lot of songs in the juggling market voice and have a lot of dub, but them just choose to stay in that lane. That does say them can't win a clash dance. You know what I'm saying? Me just look at it as song. Once you think you can clash and you uptake, you jump in it. Because most of them songs, them who say them are big song, them are voice dub same way.
But
just look at Massive B. Look at Massive B. Massive B on a clash song. But let Massive B on a date and I say, boy, them are clashing and a song going to that dance saying, Bobby Connor's just a juggling song. You know how long Bobby Connor's a voice tune?
Which is true. And here's the crazy thing about the whole thing, right? Absolutely crazy, right? Juggling sounds have their dubs. A lot of the juggling sounds, because of the turn in the industry, a lot of them have the dubs and they don't even get a chance to play them in the dances that they play because the bashment crowd is not really into dubs like they used to be. So a whole heap of the juggling sound them have dubbing a Drew and I sit on the dub them I can't get for play them the right way. But what the juggling sounds have that I think that we're overlooking, and not every juggling sounds, the active juggling sounds, they have an audience and a crowd, which a lot of the clash sounds, not every clash sound, but a lot of the clash fans sounds don't have. Because a clasher, an active clash sound, will not play as much as an active juggling sound. It's impossible. Think about it. An active clash sound that only clashes and an active juggling sound that only juggles. There's no way that an active clash sound is going to play more than an active juggling sound, right? So we have to look at all kind of different situations centered around the conversation. One thing I said to a brethren of mine, me and him up on the phone yesterday, and we had a whole nice vibe. And he was one of those people that was saying to me, boy, it's not a good thing, say, juggling sound getting at the clash thing. Because he's saying that the juggling sounds are going to have an unfair advantage. And his argument is this, which me can see him argumenting on. Mm-hmm. He's saying, Chin, me's a man we in at the dub studio them every day and run around with sound man and blah, blah, blah. See, I'm amongst the biggest of the biggest artists. And me can tell you this, an artist would rather give him dub discounted or free to a juggling sound where I gonna start clash than a clash sound where don't juggle. I'm gonna say, why is that? And he said, because if you're looking exposure for your song, if you are trying boss a song, you're not gonna give it to a man where just gonna play it in a one dance and don't get no date for 4 months. You're gonna give it to a man where I gonna clash tonight, but him gonna juggle 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times for the rest of the month. So he's saying that one thing that the hardcore sound them have to understand, once the jazzy tease them and the other man them start coming and take up clashing and juggling, they are going to have an advantage as more, to plead their cause for dub plates from the artists. I'm just, reiterating what he said.
But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. You want to know why? Because artists are trying to be heard. And the more you are out there, why wouldn't I give it to somebody that's going to put my material out there more often than one guy will vice it? Me charge him $1,000, yes. But he ain't going to play it again for 6 months because I'm not have no date.
Call it live.
Good evening, Joe.
Yo.
Yeah, man, I was at the dance, man. Yo, listen, man, juggling sound need to be in the clash arena. And the next thing that you might have to do, you can have a run called Dub Studio Lock Off. And just play 45 for 2 for 2 if it change the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Make it see. And test your skill them.
Yeah, you pushing it, son. You pushing it.
No, I'm not pushing it. Hold on.
45 dub in a 2 for 2. Nah, man.
Hold on. Joe. One. The next time I send to you. The more 45 shot block off, right? Round, right?
Yeah,
yes.
Boy.
Okay, we're going to flip it around and say, yo, dub studio shop lock.
You be the only person in that dance, dog. You tell them people I say you got have round called dub plate lock your Regina. You are alone in there.
Listen,
because you know what happened? Too much artists charge my money that's to learn and explain it, the skill. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Listen, I'm not saying what you're saying is a bad idea at all, right? And I'm not saying that it may not happen in the future, but I just don't know. I think that we are trying to do so much changing right now. It has to be a gradual process. I think if if I do that right now, caller, them are gonna kill me.
Oh yeah.
I'm not killer.
He's dead.
Respect, I'm not killer.
All right, my brother. Thanks for calling. 718-554-8598 is that number in studio. 718-554-8598 is that number in studio. Now, say Platinum Kids. We're speaking Platinum Kids right now, right? Just because they are the sound system of the moment, right? The sound system of the conversation. So Platinum Kids juggles every week, right? They now have this victory party that's going to happen tonight in the Bronx.
Yeah,
right?
Trophy party,
right? Celebration of the U.S. Rumble trophy. And I believe that it's going to be Ram.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Platinum Kids, I had a conversation with them the other day, and they were telling me about how many people are reaching out to them that do not go to Clash to congratulate them about their victory. And those people who are reaching out to them not only heard that they won, but went back to listen to the audio of them winning, right? So now we have new people listening to Sound Clash and voicing their opinions. I don't see where this is a bad thing. But again, those of you who feel that, the decision that I made to let a juggling sound on a hardcore stage is a bad thing, please call me up and plead your call. Your cry. Call you live.
Yeah, bless.
Bless up, brother.
Well, I don't really feel so you make a bad decision. You understand me? Because music and sound are sound. So, for my man say, boy, him don't start with a sound for himself. He must prepare for press war or answer back when a man pressing button. You understand me?
Same.
So a man cut the plate. And the next thing, I want to ask you about Dapper. The amount of hype we input. How come him not turn up? One more question now. If you was in a position as Innocent, where them and Cosmic did up for elimination, Cosmic step out, Innocent next round. You know how much 45 out there, how much sealed up with them about there. It's like the man them play the world set of tune like them never just up the elimination. You understand me?
Same.
Yeah, so I feel that them should have go harder.
Here's what I want to say, because a lot of people, sorry to cut you, a lot of people are asking me about this Innocent situation, right? Yeah, and let me say this to you guys, and I'm being.
Well, Chin, me not cut you. Me did ask a brother, cause I don't get some live. Me did ask a brother want to that part, and in the boy maybe in my pre-one clash where him have down here so with City E. So all your pre-one little clash over one big rumble. You understand? Or you can go on.
Now, here's the thing, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys, big respect to all the members of Innocent, right? I didn't know that Dapper Lee wasn't coming to Rumble.
Yeah.
Right? So let me just put that out there for those of you who felt like I kept this big secret or, you know, whatever. I did not know that Dapper Lee was not coming to Rumble. It's not until maybe about 3 or 4 hours before Dapper Lee, before the clash, I realized that Dapper Lee was not in New York, right? And at that time, it's not my place as the promoter to let everybody else know that Dapper Lee's not there, because I'm thinking that maybe it would have been part of their strategy, you know what I mean, to make everybody believe that Dapper was there and send 2 different brethrens. So I didn't want to go out there and be like, yo, Dapper not there, because, you know what I mean? I wanted to give everybody a fair chance at executing whatever strategy that they had. But again, I did not know that Dapper Lee was not there. He was on, social media. He was in the WhatsApp group, and he was acting as if he was already in New York all day. So I don't know what that is about, and I haven't spoken to him since. So I really don't know. My thing is this: I booked Innocent, and Innocent showed up. Right? I booked Innocent sound system, and Innocent showed up. If 2 other persons or 3 other persons or 1 other person come to represent Innocent, that's how it is. I didn't book Dapper Lee. You know what I mean? So that's just where that conversation goes. 718-554-8598. Those of you who were calling a while ago that didn't get through, please call back. I want to have this conversation. Drew or myself is not, planning to sit here and talk to ourselves for 2 hours. We're not going to do it, people.
After we are not madman.
and all of this conversation that you guys been having on social media and this and that, now is a chance to talk. Ask me whatever questions you need to ask me, right? And let's get it out there. Let's have some good conversation. I want to do this each and every week. Of course, June 17th is the next Rumble in the UK. And we're going to talk about that and go through the lineup in a few minutes. Call you live.
Hey, Chen.
Yes, I.
Yeah, me got 2 points, right? The first point is that we carry 3 girls for the first time to the clash. 3 women we walk with for the first time for the clash, right? And the thing the women them are complaining about the baseline so hard that them girls in the book clash first time them go clash. So the baseline so rough that they can't understand what the youth man is saying on the mic, and then the lyrics of the music and them kind of bass so overpower the treble and everything that they can't hear nothing. So them girls say next time they come, see if we can go up on the radio and tell you tone down the bass line a little so they can feel the vibes more. You know what I mean?
Good point. Good point. Because here's the thing. I believe that sometimes, right, and again, when you guys hear me talk, I try to come from an unbiased position, right? So you guys know that when we do our events, it is my partner sound system, Supertone, right? But at the end of the day, if it played good, it played good. If it don't play good, it don't play good. It means, I'm not going to try to always make things look the best way. The reality is the reality.
No. The music play good now. The music smooth enough.
No.
Just the bass itself, just a little too high.
Yeah, hear me out. What I was trying to say is this, right? Sometimes too much can spoil the party. If you get where me I come in. So in your case, too much bass. Even though the sound I play good, too much bass can still spoil the party.
Right.
It's just something about these sound man that feel like that, Amazura supposed to shake. And if it not shake, then nothing not go on. But I agree with you, because sometimes you go to some dances and the bass make your teeth them
Shit.
Call you live.
Chin, honestly, I really do think that the jugglers make the dance more better, because I listen to the dance, I watch the people them on stage, and because I was in the middle of the dance floor, right? The man them also them a sound man, Chin, and them a clash man, them play boring. This one bag of foundation dub plate and nobody can dance. And that's what I think that missing from the dance. Them a play this one bag of foundation dub plate and nobody's not moving. And they keep on doing it over and over, nobody's not moving.
I agree. I agree. At some point, what I think is happening to people, and correct me if I'm seeing the wrong thing, but I think that sound systems get so carried away on the stage to prove that they're a big sound. And the way you prove that you're a big sound is to prove that you have enough dub, that they forget that there's an audience in front of them. You know what I mean? Really, when you check it out, if you're playing a 10-minute round, within the first 3 minutes, you should be able to determine that what you try push upon the people them not in it, Change road for the next 7 minutes. But you have some people like Cosmic, and I'm not saying Cosmic is a bad sound, I'm just saying about their 45 performance, right? Like, they had every sign in the book to tell them, yo, drop some dub, because the 1545s that I just played in the first 2 minutes of the round is not working.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that sound men get so stuck on a game plan. All right, this round, we're going to go out there and we're going to beat some 45. And this way I going to do. Or we're going to go out there and we're going to beat out the whole of Drew tune them. Right? And then we're going to whop it back on Drew in the second round. It's like, a lot of the sound men don't care about the entertainment value. They don't realize that the people that you should be most concerned about is the ones that vote to say whether you won or lost the round. They don't care that they should entertain the person who has the right to say you are eliminated, which is the audience. One of the things that everybody must focus on is keeping to please the audience. So if the audience want 45, get them 45.
Play it, man.
If the audience want dub plate, get them dub plate, because at the end of the day, it's the audience who says who goes home. If me not make sense, tell me something not make sense. So many people are trying to keep up this traditional, a sound clash, a big tune me I play, a big tune me I play. And not the big tune them I say, whether you win the round or not, is the people them who pay their money. Call you live. Call you live. 718-554-8598 is the number in the studio. Now, on June 17th, right, the big event is taking place inside the UK. And it is called the UK Rumble. Now, people, I'm hearing the conversation, I'm watching the conversation, but I'm really not listening to the conversation. And the conversation that I'm talking about is the comparison, right? You cannot compare something that we're doing here to aid the industry with events that are already self-made and self-rival, right? From brand name sound systems. So again, let me reiterate this to those of you who did not get the memo. The Rumble is something that we are starting from scratch, and some of them is going to be sold out, some of them is going to be 80% sold out, and some of them is only going to be 40% sold out. But maybe on the next go round, the one that was 40 will be 60, and then the go round after that, that one will be 100. This is for the benefit of sound system culture. This is why we're doing it. We're trying to make some new sounds, some new brands come to the forefront with their talent, with their creative ideals, with their dub plates, with their approach, with their speech, to bring a new day into Sound Clash. And think about it. Irish and Chin, Sound Chat Radio, invested in bringing a juggling sound to the US Rumble stage. And the conversation in the sound clash world now is about whether juggling sounds are better than class sounds or class sounds are better than juggling sounds. Before US Rumble, many of us wasn't even talking about juggling sounds being put in events. We didn't even see the success.
True that.
So we have now opened a new conversation which will possibly open a new door for sound system culture, right? And some of the talented jugglers may find it feasible for them to come in at the dance. Come clash with them, look at them, play at them, and see if them can stand up to the big tune there.
That's what this thing is supposed to be about, man. I think people get so caught up in this whole heap of who's this and who's that. You know what I mean? Yo, somebody has to open the door at some point to let somebody in. You know what I mean? The old guard, everything has to change. You know what I mean? I say somebody has to be the person to step out.
I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm not stopping anyone from doing their clashes the way they want to do their clashes. But for us here at Sound Chat Radio, Irish and Chin, we've been doing this for 20 years. It's time for the game to change. It has to change, right? If it doesn't change, it will just wither away, right? And what will happen is that every now and again, there will be a big dance to go to.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We don't want the industry to just rely on every, 2 years or every 3 years or every 1 year, there's a big dance to go to. I myself enjoy the big dances, don't get me wrong. And I myself would love to go to some dances that's a one-on-one and steal a fly back and forth and sound a dead and blah, blah, blah. I want that. But it's not going to sustain the industry in the long run if that's the only thing happening in the sound clash culture.
Yeah, at some point, it's like a grab and run. You know what I mean? I say sometimes you have to plant seed. You know what I mean? And you can't. We listen to reggae music every day. We enter the beat, say, yo, you read the band, but sometimes somebody have to plant the can. You know what I mean?
We need the jugglers, them, where I play in a Jamaica, where I run off them out in the everyday, what you call it, Mojito Mondays and this year Tuesdays and Bounty Sundays and blah. We need them in the thing. Right? Right? You need the man them in the hardcore trenches where I beat the big dub them. You need them in the thing too. You know what I mean? So globally, if I could go around the world and I could get 1 or 2 jugglers to enter every Rumble competition, that's what I would do. Because it brings a different energy. Caller, you're live.
Hey, good evening again. It's DJ Roots. Hey, when I was at the clash with you guys, right, I think Platinum Kids threw off the clash sound off their game. Because they were trying to juggle the Platinum Kids and they got thrown off the game. Like Cosmic, like Rhythm Force, they got thrown off their game. They're trying to follow Platinum Kids. Because remember, one of them end up playing Electric Slide because they could prove they could juggle.
Yeah, man. I really don't think that one of them really played that to try to do it. I think that's probably a man load her on song. Nobody in the world, will put my arm on the line, tell me, say, them man refused it, that was the song to play. Could not.
June 17th, inside the UK. Of course, it's that UK Rumble. We're talking about sound systems like Platinum Cartel. We're talking about Natural Affairs. We're talking about Local Sample. We're talking, of course, about Immortal, Ecstasy 4x4, Classique. 6 sound systems from different parts of the UK are coming together to clash on June 17th inside Leicester, UK. What is so crazy about this one is that many of these sound systems have been avoiding a competition amongst each other for a very long time. Now, because they want to go on the world-class stage, now because they want to become internationally renowned, they have agreed to stand up on one stage and compete. This one has the whole UK talking. It is going to be a Zuba-wooski, people, and trust me when I tell you, everything that I have here at Sound Chat Radio, everything that the team has here at Irish and Chin and Sound Chat Radio, we will be investing and putting behind this Rumble series. This is not about if it's going to work. It's about when it's going to work. And we're not going to give up because there's naysayers or blah, 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 blah. Because again, I remember in 1998 when we came up with World Clash, there was about 600 to 700 people stand up in Amazura. And the next year, we had to lock people out of the venue. Call it live.
Yeah, about the jugglers and thing. I think you should do like a jugglers rumbling.
Oh, you want jugglers separate from clashers?
No, because some people are complaining about the juggling, being back juggling in that clash and all these things. So I say get some jugglers and see who bad then. Because sometimes in Jamaica, a man we are going good at town and I say I'm going good at Jamaica. No, him can't go country to play for some people.
Okay. But so you say separate them then, keep them separate.
But yo, you know feel say the business separate enough right now. You know feel enough division are going. So now you're gonna say I gotta have an individual dance with just man with juggle. I mean that's just creating too much divide, man. You know what I mean?
718-554-8598. Speaking of Innocent, I caught up with them after the clash. The Rumble is over 2017, and I'm standing next to the champion, defending champion sound system. Of course, they didn't repeat tonight, but they did also give a good performance. Innocent Sound System out of Florida. Speak to me, man. What took place on the stage, Jugsy?
Tonight was a lovely night, Chin. Lovely night. I just one of them nights that the underdog, you know. And get away with it, but it's a lovely night. Trust me.
Do you feel that, more pressure was placed on you because you were the champion from last year?
Whole heap of pressure. Because a whole heap of people used to Dapper and used to Nashin. See a new face come, they want to say what the new face can do. So if they mean more see Dapper, it would have even easy turnover. But me just fight feet. Is what I say?
I'm thinking that you predicted that people would probably give you a harder time without Dapper being here tonight.
Yes, man, of course. See it from before me leave come New York. From me leave Miami, I know it's not going to happen. Seeing so me not get a harder fight because as me say people more used to Dapper, Nashin. So if it's a Juxi face now, me have to just come fight feet and show New York what to expect and what the new Innocent. You understand what I say?
How was the experience for you tonight as the front man on the battlefield? I saw where you were presenting yourself good. You weren't letting the absence of Dapper or Nasheem stop you from still trying to deliver your thing. Is this something that you're going to continue? Did you how do you feel that you did on the stage?
I have to continue. Just the beginning. I'm feel great. I feel great. I'm love New York. I feel great about everything. Cause as I say, him never there, so I'm just show New York with Juxi and Neil is about my innocence. So I feel great about everything. I can't stop here, so it not stop. It just a start.
Now the world knows Jugsy is a juggler as well. Yeah. How do you feel about Platinum Kids, a juggling sound now going to World Clash? Is that a good thing for the industry, bad thing for the industry? What are your thoughts on that as someone who juggles more than clashes yourself?
No man, it's a great thing for the industry because it just open up the door for other people, you understand? So most juggle sound who feel them couldn't come here and do it, them just open up a door for them, welcome everybody to try something new. So I love it. I love the experience with them.
Defending champions 2017 US Rumble, also world contenders Innocent Sound System. They didn't double up this week, or I should say this year, but maybe next time. Yeah, big up. Yes, I. So, Jugsy spoke about his Rumble experience, first time on the battlefield, I believe. Leading on such a big stage, leading the Innocent team. You think Dapper put them in a position? I think Dapper put them in a position.
I mean, I think people are all about perspective. You know what I mean? If them see you present somebody, like, for example, in that CM dance, Cosmic presented them new MC, but it was done by Sparks, who everybody know, who would say, all right, here's the new guy, some kind of handover of the button or something like that. That probably would have helped them a little bit more if he was there to present them over, but it just dries up. Boom, see them, yeah? And them have to just, it's like there was no transition, They kind of rough on them because of that, Kind of like left them out for dry.
And what I think that, and this is just my opinion again, and no disrespect to anyone. We're just really speaking about the after effects of the US Rumble, right? If Dapper didn't act as if he was in New York, if he didn't lead everybody to believe that he was going to be the man around the machine, I think the reception for them would have been a lot easier. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, right? Most of the people there, they were there last year. A lot of them are social media people, and they saw this. They bought into the buy-in. You know what I mean? Dapper talking about he's landed, or giving you that insinuation that he's in New York and someone ready for dead and blah 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 blah. And then two new members step out, and it's like, wow, maybe it would have been different if Jugsy and Neely was actually doing the last year uno sit up alone, but this year the whole team are come for kill blah blah blah. You know, if we knew that it was going to be more members involved, maybe earlier, a month earlier or 2 months earlier, and the man them did promote that they would be taking part, it probably could have been a little bit more.
Yeah, it would have easier upon them.
It would have been, better received. That's just my opinion. 718-554-8598 is that number in studio. We also caught up with who else did we catch up with backstage? I think it's Rhythm Force we caught up with also after the event. And here's what they had to say.
First time representing on the stage. The energy was there. The speeches was there. The crowd was working with you for a good amount of the dance. Yeah. And then everything kind of just went downhill. What happened tonight?
All right, here what happened now, Chin. I draw the wrong set of tune them. You see, when I say the little juggling sound they will win, when I see them draw the round and them start juggling now, me go jump in and say, yo, I want to prove to them so I can juggle. When I should have just stay on my lane, so I jump the line. And you know where you get when you jump the line, right? Yeah.
How was the clash overall, though? Are you surprised that the Juggling Sound won Platinum Kids? How do you feel about your performance tonight on the Rumble stage?
Well, all right. Yes, when it come on to Platinum Kids now, I'm not surprised that them win after me drop out. My performance, you don't know, so we always leave room for improvement. So, my feel say, yes, some improvement need for go on. And we're going to deal with it. And you don't know next year, we're there.
Representing Florida same way?
Same way, not change. You see? And we are representing. Big up Father Everton. Natural Mystic, rest in peace. DJ X, Upper Dan. Big up yourself.
Big up to X, man. Big up to X. X was playing them songs.
Yeah, X did that drop a song them, you understand? And me go so boom and draw the wrong set of song and switch him up. So I just want the people them know that. And we take full responsibility, but you say next year, yeah, we're not.
Yo, shine the light by X, man. Them for know the youth. X, playing the songs them. Tonight, very competitive. Big up you. Rhythm Force speaks. He said he messed up. You know what I mean? If you stay in I'm lane.
Yeah, should I stay in I'm lane? I come talk about him mess up the man. Yeah, loud the man. The man play him song.
718-554-8598. June 17th inside the UK. Leicester is the place to be. I'm talking about the UK Rumble lineup. Platinum Cartel, Immortal, 4x4 Ecstasy or Ecstasy 4x4. Natural Affairs, Local Sample and Classic. It is going to be a showdown.
Please stand by. BBC is receiving an important announcement.
Yo, UK people, me have a date for your diary. It's a thing named UK Rumble when a boy can't stumble. Yeah, them say 6 sound I got there in the land, but here we know 5 of them I got dead when cartel turn on. So remember, make this a date and don't be late. The 17th of June, 2017, UK Rumble. See you there.
Platinum Cartel! People dead! Boom! Squidly Natural Affairs. Here we go on now. Because them say sound class season again, you know. Them say war is not the ear. Yeah. Them say UK Rumble. And here why I'm excited about the clash here right now. You want me to tell you why? Because you have some little sound, you know, who did they in a retirement for the longest of time, and them jump up back now. Yeah. You have a next little sound now, so them a world sound. But they don't know where Gatwick Airport there, they don't know where Birmingham Airport there. So we know to work out for them, so them a world sound. You have a next set of sound now, who are running a hide from Natural Affairs for the longest of time. Them jump up back. So here we go on now. You see June the 17th, UK Rumble, enough dopey I got flick out and splash out, you know. And that me I tell you now, you know. Because it's been a little while now since you know see Natural Affairs up on the battlefield. I represent UK the real way. But that one, yeah, UK Rumble, remember me tell you, is not to be missed. I'll be a sound I got there. I mean not a joke. Because some of them sound they who in the clash here, them for dead long time, but them are running a hide. But them now get where June the 17th. And that me I tell you now. So people make sure you run out for that one. You know, walk out for that one, yeah. Run out for that one, yeah. UK Rumble, June 17, Leicester the thing there, you know. Jesus Christ, man, you know, out of the world. You know how long me I wait for kill some of them sound boy, yeah?
Just make sure say you're in the building. June the 17th, UK Rumble, Natural Affairs International. That thing the naga pretty, it naga normal. Just make sure you did it, yeah? Alright, Squidly, me out.
Now, what did I say to you guys earlier? That one of the reasons that makes this clash so interesting in the UK is because a lot of the sound systems have been avoiding clashing each other. Right? And it's only because of the purse. And when I say the purse, you know, I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about the, you know, the title. And the title brings you to World Clash. And then the World Clash title brings you to the Jamrock Cruise. So the purse is so attractive that even man and man will never want to play with each other. And I mean musically that is. Let me correct that because you know. Right? They will perform on the same stage, for a better choice of words. Perform on the same stage. Because some of them has been running for a while from each other musically. Right? So this one is a big one that will be taking place June 17th. We will be having Rumble conversations here as much as we can, but Rumble Talk is not only about the Rumble series, it's about Sound Clash Talk in general, right? So those of you who've been, you know, crying and saying, boy, Chin, uno not talk enough about Clash, well, guess what? We're talking about Clash 2 hours every week now. So tell a friend to tell a friend, log in.
I tell you, Soulja Radio are the #1 station. I can't say so. Lord have mercy. Whoa. Tonight Soulja Radio is playing. How the station just lock up.
Yo, people, I'm if you tell about that one here, you know. Road to World Clash. Seeing UK Rumble, down at Leicester. Mad sitting down there, you know. And if you tell a liquor sample in a building, you know. And that me I tell you, you know. The full crew today, you know. And so I got dead, you know. Me not lie. But you are going. Me, I represent the bad sound from out my country. We out my country. I roll we are down there robot boy, you know. Straight. Kick out boy teeth. See? Alright, now see that word.
718-554-8598. Let's talk Rumble each and every Thursday, 6 p.m. till 8 Eastern Standard Time. Shouts to everybody locked into irishandchin.com. Big up to all my sound people in the chat room. Shouts to those of you who are locked in on the live stream on Facebook. Stream, I should say. Shouts to the whole Irish and Chin team. 718-554-8598. Let's have the conversation. Let's talk Rumble. Call here live.
Hi, Ken. I have a question. Where with this segregation, where do songs like Addies fall then? Because Addies and them juggle every week. Songs like juggle are Clash.
That's a good question. You know what I mean? And again, here's the thing. Most people, I believe, will put your sound in the category in which you're most dominant. That's just what I think. You know, most people will do that. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, they do.
They would put you in the category which you're most dominant.
I mean, because I've been to parties, right? And people would have said, like, I sound like LP, right? That's an LP, a war song. But I've been to parties, I'm going to say LP, have them juggling side and them, I do them thing. So I don't even though LP is a big sound and people know them as a war sound, I say, call them a war sound. They're an all-purpose machine. Them can play party, Killer D. I've been to parties, even Blunt Anniversary years ago. I'm going to say the man mash up that by himself. And it had nothing to do with war, nothing to do with nothing. And have the girls in my move. You know what I mean? It's just about how you present yourself. I think a lot of people, when they voice the big heavy dub them, I think they figure say them and label themselves because the song them have one bugger war in them, and you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm a war sound. Because the thing is, you're not, if it depends too on how often you getting booked.
But it comes down to the branding, right? And how your brand is socialized, right? And promoted. Because to me, Killer D wicked pan juggling, but LP's a class sound. You know what I mean? Like if Bell Beverly Goodas or Sydney Ray Ray, you know what I mean, or whatever, I don't see, you know, LP being their first choice for her birthday splashment, right? As well as I don't see Platinum Kids then being the first choice for somebody who's saying 100% dub plate steel all night. You know what I mean? Because it's how you are associated. It's not whether you have the ability to clash. We know that LP has the ability to juggle. Very good. Killer D is really good at what he does, right? Kingpin is also another good juggler from King Addies, right? But we don't. They're not socialized in that manner.
Yeah, they got a stigma.
You know what I mean? When Mataran was on Addies, because Mataran was so big on clashing and juggling, it kind of put Addies, and Addies was still considered a war song.
He bridged the gap, and a lot of people can say, but yo, one of the best thing that happened to King Addies, I would say, was like when Mataran had the machine for solo, the liquor time Feast it gone. He took Addies into a direction there he probably wouldn't have gone, where him carried, you know, the Sydney Ray Ray and the African girls them party, and they was like, hold up, Addies?
But when you look at it though, even though Addies was part of that world, Mataran had to be included.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They, you know, Sydney Ray Ray or Beverly Goodas or Jackie whatever, right? They weren't booking Addies without Mataran.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what it was. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that the industry doesn't operate on your ability to entertain, juggle or clash. It more segregates you based on how you've socialized your brand.
Yeah, your circles, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's basically what it is. And that's just what it is. When you look at a sound like Bass Odyssey now, that would be an exception to the rule.
Because they're in a boat world.
Because Bass Odyssey spends a lot of their time in Jamaica juggling. You know what I mean? So they've been socialized as a hardcore sound that can really, really juggle.
Can do both.
You know what I mean? But that's not the case for many other sounds.
Yeah, they're a rarity. It's like, you know, it's all about labels, man, and your social circle. Car. If you start itch up yourself on one bag of hardcore, man, you know, the juggling man, them not gonna look for you.
Thank you, J Flex. Links is one of those people too where he may fall in both. You know, he'll fall in both.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
the line.
Because of his hardcore background on Bodyguard, he still can be considered, part of the hardcore world.
And the thing is, when he made his debut, which was at Juggling to Kill in a Q Club, he shut out that night on some war vibes. Didn't he play with Mataran? The night there when him flip up over, you know what I say? He started him whole thing in a Q Club the night there, which was supposed to be a Juggling to Kill dance.
And that's crazy too, because again, you know, many people give other people credit for it, but that was our event. We started the Mataran Fire Links rivalry. It started inside Q Club. I think the flyers is someplace on the wall, and that was a game changer for us as well. When you look at the history of the Irish and Chin legacy, there is so many game changers there. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of the events, we didn't know that they were going to be game changers when we were putting them on, but the outcome of it was a game changer. That Q Club event, Juggling to Kill, I think it was in January 2000 or something like that. It sparked a rivalry between Mataran and Fire Links that divided the juggling world for a while. You know what I mean? Either you're the Link side or you're the Mataran side, and you know, 15, 20 years later, we still seeing that kind of
the rivalry still exists.
That rivalry, you know what I mean? And again, people, this what we're doing with this rumble and bringing in the juggling sounds, it's a game changer. It's the game changer, and it's not something that we haven't been working on here at Irish and Chin for a while. Remember in 2012, we came up with the reset slogan, right? And, you know, we did all this kind of media release on it and press release and conversation in the media. And the acronym was just simply restoring exciting sound system entertainment together. And when people asked what together meant, I said juggling and clash sounds coming together on one stage. And here it is 5 years later. It's working. You know what I mean? So some of these things are slow process, people. It's not everything that Irish and Chin does is going to catch right away. We would love for it to catch right away. Trust me. It makes us look like we're geniuses. But some of it, you know, we have to spoon feed you guys because a lot of you are stuck in your own ways, and I understand that. But for the interest of the industry moving forward, we can't only think about the dance that we want to go to this weekend. We have to think about the dance that we want to go to next year this time. Will there still be a sound clash, craving next year this time if we continue doing the same things that we're doing? We got to get some of these young selectors with their talents on the stage to entertain us. All of you guys are enough on I run off on the mouth now about platinum kids. I'm platinum kids. And platinum kids are the best thing since sliced bread. But platinum kids is one of many sounds that has the ability to be game changers if given the right opportunity. 718-554-8598. Now, a lot of the game-changing juggling sounds are not going to come through the Irish and Chin vessel because we can't let go the whole of them. But I'm hoping that other promoters will see what we've done and see this whole. Listen, England are talking about platinum kids winning. Europe is talking about platinum kids winning. Canada, Japan, everybody's so zoned in on this Rumble thing. And this whole thing about a juggling sound winning the Rumble, it's like, wow, you that thing say 5,000 people did their Rumble.
Exactly. You can tell how good a clash is by the conversation that it sparks and the spin-off that takes place afterwards. You know what I mean? Because when people are going to look upon it now, you know there's going to be a promoter that's going to be like, you know what, I'm going to tweak my lineup and put somebody in it. And that's what it's going to take to happen. But sometimes somebody, like me say, have to step the first foot forward. You know what I mean?
We have to strike the match. And that's what Irish and Chin is doing. I would never say that Irish and Chin is the best promoters of Sound Clash. We are one of the people who are putting up their money. Anybody will put up their money. And the key word is put up money. To keep a Sound Clash, you have to rate them. Because in most cases, the return on Sound Clash is a minimum. You have a better chance to lose your money, Drew, off of keeping a Sound Clash event in today's climate than to make a money.
Yeah, gamble. Real gamble.
So I cannot fight against anyone. Big up to all of the man them and women across the planet who does what they do to keep Sound Clash culture alive in their respective territories. So this little thing where we come with called the Rumble is just our, what would you call it? Our vision, our way of trying to help out. But somebody else is going to come and say, but Chin them could have tweaked it this way and tweaked it that way and come with a bigger event or better event. And guess what? I'm sure Drew, Ninja, Treasure, myself, Ronnie, Yush, Irish, we will all be there, enjoying the same clash.
I mean, well, I would not go out dance, man.
Because our thing is not about, this industry being for us. Our thing is about the industry going on. Me want be 50 and 55 and 60 and still can't say, boy, me I got one good Sound Clash tonight.
Boy.
If I feel to do so, you know what I mean?
Do that.
Me don't want to tell my pitney them say, yeah, man, there used to be this thing called Sound Clash. It was the greatest thing around. I wish you were alive back then when these things were happening because they're not happening anymore.
Cause when I want to end up like what my man name Richie Stevens try bring back something where people forget about. You know what I mean? I said let's keep it. If it's here, no matter make it come out of our consciousness, where we have to bring it back later on. If it's here, nurture it, build it. You know what I mean? I said don't rape it.
And try to respect those who are putting out their money, because guess what? Again, I'm gonna reiterate it. It's not an easy gamble with the money thing when it comes to Sound Clash. Mrs. Some man I keep some dance and God bless the crowd that them get, but them a do it and them do it again and them do it again because them love it and them have a passion for it and they have a goal to kind of push the thing forward. So we have to respect them for that. We have to rate them for that. Call your life.
You know the problem, so somebody, the elder them not really bring the youth them in the thing, the real thing them. They are giving to the youth them and take out to the youth them believe them. You know what I say?
You say them now bring the real youth them in?
No, they not bring the younger youth them in the real thing. Like as far as say, you have new youth them want new things. Them not really set the foundation of the things start. They're not really interested in the retro or whatever you want to call it. Then they have some new thing right now, some alcohol and a different there. That's why I have so much poetry. The selector them now and that's the real authentic.
let me ask you this, right? Would you ever go to a concert and spend your money to go to a concert which you're not into that type of music? So say for instance, would you go to a heavy metal concert then, or a country and western concert?
Yeah.
Would you go to say that you went?
You can't really hear so clear.
I'm saying would you go to country and western? Would you go to a Kenny Rogers concert? Or would you go to a, what is it, heavy metal, what's these guys, Ungrateful Dead? Would you go to a concert like that? Would you personally pay your money and go?
Yeah, if I saw them like, yeah, no problem.
But that's what I'm asking you. Is it something that you like? Do you listen to country and western?
Yeah, I listen to country and western, but not too deep, but me listen to it.
But you will go?
No, I don't think I go. I would listen to it.
All right, so this is my point. We're asking the new generation to go to things that they're not interested in. To them, Sound Clash to them is what Kenny Rogers is to what we are, us, a no-no.
Yeah, they understand that still, but what I'm saying, for instance, the selector level, like Addies and them, the reason why some of these sound not be able to deliver from them time until now, because, say for instance, if you have a sound with one main selector for the sound, when I'm on the left and gone, the sound flop. They not gradually bring somebody into it. I mean, so I'm gone, the sound still a play.
Yeah, but that's more of like a vision where you're supposed to have as a manager or an owner for a sound. Because you can't think momentary and say, all right, everything great right now, but remember, age is something that's going to take everyone away. And music, I've always said, is going to be not say a young people's thing, but it depends on the market you're in. You have to have the demographic that can speak to that generation. You know what I mean? I say, like kids, like my nephew and Feenbridge and them, me 44. Me can't look on them one day and really give them no entertainment talk. Cause them gonna say, yo, when you depend on some old man thing, you need to have somebody in your, age group and class where you can relate to. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with for the sound. Them.
Ranks in the chat room is saying that the UK youngsters are into grime. They're not into Sound Clash. But what about if grime was also being played into the Sound Clash? What about if some of them grime artists that did make dub plate and some of the big sound them in the UK was dropping grime pan dub in the mix of everything else? You know what I mean? We gotta keep the thing moving forward. We gotta keep it moving forward. By now, it's like, and no disrespect to any of our veteran artists, because we love them and they have made timeless music. But at the same time, I do see an argument with someone made to me where, boy, the time soon come where Beanie Man and Bounty them fair playing a tune for tune. And Buja fair playing a tune for tune.
If you do it by age and years, yeah, they have a point.
You understand? And the reason why he's saying that is because the generation of the crowd that we wants to come in, they don't know what a Marcia Griffiths dub is. They don't care. But them probably know wanna kill a old tune them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There has to be a turnover. And you know what, Chin, where that brings me is to, I was listening to Ricky Trooper Sound Chat program today. And he was talking about, the dancer pass with Soul Supreme and BS Artistry, and he spoke about Rumble. And he said, no, that the dance is over and we have the champions and the conversation. The one thing that nobody's talking about is what was the big song for the night. You know what I mean? And we walk away from these dances and we talk about the speeches, but and I'm noticing it. There's not a lot of talk about bad song. Like back in the days, me personally, when I went to Mighty Crown and BS Odyssey, I'm not gonna lie and tell nobody say I was no big fan of Junior Mervin. You know what I say? But the one Junior Mervin ball, put your hat where you reach it, that became an instant classic. When everybody walked out of that building, if you were into Sound Clash or you were buying a dub plate, you say, yo, me I feel one that song there.
I drove. And this is real talk, because one thing I try to be people is a realist, because here's where I stand. And I say this to my team all the time. The position that I'm in, I need people to believe what I say. You know what I mean? So I gotta take all bias out of everything and try to be as truthful as possible, even when it's maybe a shot to my team, right? The Bass Odyssey Mighty Crown. Mighty Crown, don't put your hat where you can't reach it, was the actual knockout punch, right? And by the following week, I was in Jamaica driving to Portland because I said to myself, that can't reach me again.
I forgot it.
I drove to Portland right? And them time that the road never good at Jamaica like that. I drove to Portland and got Junior Mervin to do a counteraction to the song and also the original song, right? Because that was the song that put the nail in the coffin.
And that's what we are talking about. Like, these dances are being won, yeah, but we now find a one song when we walk out and we say that's a new classic. That's a new instant hit. And that's the problem with me have with dance nowadays, because I used to go to dances, right? And me and my brethren, I'm going to say, yeah, me know so tonight me I go hear something new, something fresh, something where I go run the place for like maybe all the next 5-6 months or 3 months. And you go in there and there's a lot of recycle thing you get. And like me say, what Trooper said makes sense. Is like, yo, hey, my man, if you're going to be in this game and all you're going to do is copy and play out there, then you're not going to ever stamp a mark or a name for yourself, because then what you're doing is you are solidify the man them will call themselves dinosaur, because you are staying a them lane and you're not create your own. You know what I mean? You have to start take chance with tune, and these guys cannot wait for play clash every 3-4 months and play one song and put it down. You know what I mean? Straight up.
718-554-8598. Those of you who are sound men that have really been in the art of war, right? Because someone are the sound man and a sound woman, but you never been in the art of war. If you are a sound man and you've been in the art of war, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now on Rumble Talk Thursdays, right? Sometimes you're in a competition and there's that knockout dub where just basically just killed you in the dance. And you have to go find the artist the next day and vice the dub. You got to. And that's what Sound Clash was all about.
Supposed to be.
For me, was the bass Artistry Mighty Crown, the Junior Mervin. As I said, the next day, or should I say the following week, I drove to Portland and find Junior Mervin. I said, Mervin. By the time I got the Mervin, maybe about later on in the day or the next day, Squingy called me upon my phone and said, yo, me here say it there, Portland. You know what I mean? Because that was the vibes at the time. But that's what Clash was all about, is because when somebody got a one-up on you, you try to cover that, cover that track to make sure that one-up not reach you again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you had that surprise dub. When we made that bass Artistry, that bass Artistry Clash, Mighty Crown brought some dubs to the table. The tweet rhythm with Shuba Duba, something different.
Warrior King, yeah.
You know what I mean? And other sounds do it too. So it's not only a Mighty Crown and bass Artistry. When Trooper them used to clash, them used to bring something different. The Jaro Addies was a variety of different dubs that you left that dance saying, yo, counteraction after counteraction. And the greatest thing about Clash at that time was, let's look at Alkaline now. Alkaline are the man when it come to the dancehall thing.
Right.
Are the banga. The Idonia. Right? Back in the real days, a man a find an artist for counteract banga.
Of course.
You understand? So when that banga play and get that big forward there, a man a come back with an artist. Members of the tune where the artist are going to drop in at the Clash is not a 45.
Right.
The artist builds some tune just to keep his sound alive in the Clash. That's not happening anymore. We are mostly competing with dub plates that are already 45s.
Right.
Nobody now step out of the box and build a song from scratch no more. And if they do it, it's usually an intro.
Yeah.
If sign on.
But another intro.
The intro bad, because a man creatively come up with an intro, a singing intro, kind of Stevie, that's it. But no man now look pan sound and say, yo, you see that song there, that popcorn song there, the body song, any other song drop on me dead. So here what me I go do? Me I go find popcorn rival and make him counteract that song there. So anyhow it drop, me guarantee forget a forward.
Yeah, and the thing is too, sometimes he ain't even gotta be his rival. Cause I remember, someone used to use man like Gringo and counteract man song. And Gringo's not a big artist, but the counteraction was bad.
Hey, in the Eater War, the big forward is usually the answer back. You see, when a man dig off your face with a tune and you can't answer back, and that's on the forward there, call your life.
That's why those juggling sounds think they can turn up, because it's bunch of regular dub plate. Nobody played nothing special Saturday in the U.S. Rumble, man. A bunch of Kilimanjaro songs. Of course, Nick have all those songs what they played. That's why I was like, it just was a regular dance. That's why the juggling sound win, man.
But I think I wouldn't say that Rumble was a regular dance. I think almost every dance that keeps now is a regular dance. I think everything now is just regular dub plates.
Yeah, it's like straight, 45 and your name just calling night.
Call it live. Call it live. But Trooper has a really good point. There's no, you know what I mean?
You know, walk out of the dance with that old, you know what I mean?
No man, not really come on stage no more. I stand up around them sound and beat a brand. See, ooh, that youth not boss yet, but him half a boss. Like how Trooper with Anthony B. You know what I mean?
Sizzler.
I remember the first time you hear, nothing can run, nothing can hide, nothing. You know what I mean? And you're like, wow.
You know the biggest example of songs like that where artists where you don't know U-Turn Green. I still can't explain to myself, that song is universal enough.
Can't take the boom boom, ragatakatanga.
If there's a proof that a song can get through the gate and you wonder how, that song there.
Call it live.
Yeah, I agree with the thing for now. But alright, you're right, man. Remember, back in the days, some artists them like the Bunty now. I'm gonna say, yo, wait till look more, some killer for release, look more. I'm gonna say, yo, why you them killer them and now let dance yet? You know, them you don't know them creative no more. They want them to do that, they get lazy and relax.
There's no creativity. The man them are buckle with 45 pound up. That's what they're doing, you know. No one is taking a chance.
You know what I said? You're right, Tim. Me agree with 100% on it.
When you take a chance, you know, is when you take a song from scratch that no one has ever heard before and try drop it in a one dance. Me not talk about the leading dub or the top 10 45s and you change up the wording and you customize it because the medley is also already familiar and the voice is already familiar. Easy forward. Come on, I'm gonna say, oh yeah. Oh, look how the man build over the number one song. Yeah, it's easy. Me I talk about when a man, you know, build a song. Like what Trooper used to do. You know what I mean? You know who was good at that 4x4 Exodus?
Yeah, man.
Any other man they see a song I run road, them a build counteraction feed.
Half of that, man, because you know it's coming.
Yeah, them half a build counteraction feed. It's not like that anymore. 718-554-8598 is the number in studio. Remember, people, we are all going to this UK Rumble on June 17th. Those of you who cannot make it to the UK, me sorry for no.
The wait is over. The World Clash qualifying match is coming to the UK. UK Rumble.
This is dancehall. This is the core of dancehall. Clash.
On Saturday, the 17th of June, 6 of the UK's baddest sound will battle for the right to represent the UK at World Clash 2017. Only one can win. Ellie, give them some advice.
Don't go find no Chibla instead of Sizzler.
In the Rumble will be Platinum Cartel, Immortal, Ecstasy 4x4, Natural Affair, Nickel Sample and Classy. This is no joke clash. Champion sounds only. Taros, tell them what it takes to be a champion.
So a champion sound.
Saturday the 17th of June and Street Life Leicester, 24 Dryden Street, LE1 3GE. Doors open from 10 p.m. till 5 a.m. Clash starts midnight sharp. Tickets are priced at £22.50 plus booking fee from all usual outlets. Online at ticketsforalluse.co.uk or call 07549 588 242.
Now this is Richie Steven, aka the Sound Killer. Sound Chat Radio, this is like the stage show. Don't worry yourself in the chin. You don't know Sound Clash is your thing. Man like Jade. Dooba 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 day. We are gonna shame them. Sound are trying but you're dying. Never gets away. The sound is here to play. Sound Chat are the greatest. Tell the whole of them we lay them to rest. Excuse me, sound, may I tell you something in confidence? Out of all the dub plates you play, you still are dead tonight. Hey, hey, flashing with Sound Chat, you're gonna meet your judgment. And it no matter how you fight, we still a beat out your daylight. Oh, yeah, hey. What if I told you you should leave? Hurry up and get out of sight. I want you brand new. Hey, no more dubs. No. Richie Stevens in the right. In the right. But in the midst of the war, the sound boy start like a star. That's when Sound Chat get mad. Sound Chat turn on.
on, turn on.
Sound why you dead. You could never win a clash like this.
Call you live.
Yo, Chen.
Yo, sir.
Yo, Drew, big up yourself.
Yell up.
Now, in relation to what you were saying about big songs, the fan nowadays is very short. It's not like what it was back in the day where somebody could drop a big song and it will last for the next 6 months. People will still be talking about it. Today we are in the era of the internet where songs are released, it's hot for like 2 weeks, and it's gone. All right? And another thing, most of the MCs nowadays, they don't have the clout, all right, to introduce a new song and people will respect it.
I would agree with that point better than the first one that you made. I definitely agree with the last point that you made. Definitely agree with the last point you made. One thing that the creativity, I believe, and the call and respond. What's happening, in these dances, and just really think about it, right? A lot of, punches are being thrown, but no punches are being thrown back. I can't tell the last time I went to a one-on-one sound class, so to speak, right? And, both sounds are really like it's a dogfight, you know what I mean? Until one sound runs out of bite. It's usually that one sound is beating the hell out of the next sound all night. That's usually what happens.
What?
And I think it's because of it's a lack of creativity.
Look, an MC, a new sound could be as creative as they want, right? If they don't have that clout, nobody will respect it. They'll be like, oh, well, see what he did there? Oh, well, that's all right. Then they're back on their phone.
I don't think so, because then Platinum Kids wouldn't have won. I don't think so. I think
what Platinum Kids did, they were more entertaining than the other sounds. That's what they did, all right? But what other thing, if you try to think outside the box, like you guys were putting down the electric slide, right?
The crowd did that.
It was a mistake. No, but what if there was a big forward for that electric slide? Now, what would the talk be now?
The talk would be definitely opposite, but I don't think that would have happened, bro. That electric because to me, caller, to me, that there's just some dubs that just cannot be played in a clash like that. I'm not saying that if it was a crossover, Madison Square Garden clash, so to speak, different settings, maybe.
Right.
But the hardcore tuggy them where I bun them spliff and want ear tune, you can't play electric side, rude boy. I don't think it'll go work.
You wouldn't know until you try it.
Well, they tried.
But they tried, and I'm not knocking them for trying. I just think
you are knocking them.
Hear me out. I'm not knocking them for trying. I just think that when you reach the distance with where they reached, that's not experiment zone. You have your part in the dance, that's experiment zone. But when it come to get eliminated, you can't experiment.
Well, you wouldn't know until you try.
I agree with you.
You guys are saying that was a mistake. That they pressed the wrong button.
I believe that's what I think happened. They pressed the wrong button, man. Ain't nobody trying to play that.
Call you live.
So you got a lot of dub play too. So next year we should see Soundchat in the Rumble. Soundchat play a better song than the Rumble.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if me dropping out the Rumble, when me win, everybody are gonna say me set up the clash. So it don't make sense, me join. Because me now drop out, me I go win. And then everybody are gonna say I chew a chin clash and Ray and it no fear. So me just save one of the,
Yo,
so where you cut all them bag of dub there for?
For entertain on the pan radio. Wham!
To me, a selector or a MC is a salesman, right? And if you have to believe that the song bad, before you can get the crowd to believe say the song bad. And what I find nowadays, and might get cussed, I think a lot of people that are buying dub plates and becoming sound men is like when you watch, remember when you're a youth chin, I used to watch karate movie, and when you're done watch it, you swear so you can't fight, and you kick and chop and walk up and down the house, but you don't really know no kung fu and no Korean style. I think a lot of these dudes, they listen to tapes, they say, yo, I love it, and they buy the same dubs that they love, but them man are really no karate, man. Them can't kick real, them can't, everything is fake. So it's like they come out on stage and they're playing a character. You know what I say? It's like them act a show. Them man on real music, man. Them in a movie. You know what I mean? Them is like them act like that. That's why I said like the new crop of MCs don't really exist because they still coming out there acting like Trooper, acting like Panther, trying to be like Mataran. You know what I say? Them not have them own karate style. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody trying to hear that.
But that's exactly what we're saying, because it comes to the point that I'm making that everyone is sticking to cutting dubs of 45s, because the dubs that most of the sounds are play, maybe 95% they're makeovers of 45s.
Right.
And I think that they're doing it because it's a safe thing to do. You know, the audience is familiar with the original, so it's more than likely you would get a forward for playing the dub version of the original. Right? It's the same thing. You know, these selectors and MCs, they're not really as talented, or they're scared to step out in their own character, so they adopt a character which has already became successful in the arena. You know what I mean? So they'll step out as Firelinks, or they'll step out as Troop, or they'll step out as Mataran, or whoever it is, because that's what it is. You know, if you look at the majority of the Japanese sounds, they step out as Sammy T. You know what I mean? So to me, it's this safe haven that everybody wants to have, which makes the audience look at it and say, John, I'm to that man.
But one thing I won't beat them for, and we said earlier about the tunes them and creating the song, because I've done a little ghostwriting thing, and me tell you something. Some of them money, when you decide say you want to change a song or build a song, it's like them not hearing that today, you know. So they kind of kill the creative process as well, because when you go to them and you say you want to change them song, them like, yo, you mean change song? And then when you want to change the song, is a bigger money and all kind of other things. So they must stifle the creative process as well.
But you see, sorry to cut you, it comes back to the Trooper days now, right? And I don't know if those days would ever come back, but we won't know until someone tries. Just like the caller just said, we wouldn't know, even though we knew that the electric stride wouldn't have worked, right? But he's saying you wouldn't know until you try. Somebody needs to go for the artist them that is willing to rearrange them song all 5 times.
True.
You know what I mean? I went into the studio the other day with the youth. I'm big him up, man. What's the youth name? I keep forgetting his name. Call a police hole. The youth was saying, I'm an Adan, with no man, right? And him and I
Deep Jah.
And him and I stayed in the studio for about an hour and a half, billing 3 dubs, right?
Right.
One for Sound Chat Radio, one for Mighty Crown, and the other one for the show in Antigua. It took us about an hour and a half to build them.
Right.
You think so you could have get any one of the accomplished artists that's not hungry
True.
to do that?
True.
They would have said, yo, man, warm to you, man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we find those artists that sound good, that sing good, that DJ good, that can ride a rhythm, and then you present them as counteraction like what Trooper did. Nobody never know Anthony B and them man there before Trooper bring them in a dance and start kick off people's face with them.
For real.
But then it comes back.
Yeah, you know the problem. You see them young MC man right now. None of them can talk. That's the problem. All they do is just scream, wah 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 wah. But none of them can talk and say, okay, this is what I'm gonna play next. This is what I'm gonna counteract. This is what the song is say. Such and such play song and introduce the song. So sometimes you know, for big artists to play a song, you know.
Right.
Sometimes you have a little man that just come up, but how you introduce the song, and if you can talk and relate to the crowd, instead of just when the music come on there, and then nobody hear the song, and then you cut off the song for 2 seconds, just spend so much money, nobody know the song. You know what I mean? So the young man of them, none of them can talk like back in the days. And me don't know if it's because like majority of them DJs now, none of them write their own song. Like back in the days when they had Ninja Man, then they can go, hey, Ninja Man, need a dub, sing and dub about this and that, and he go and he make the song about this. You know what I mean? So the man now, they just go back and they just change up the lyrics in the regular 45 song. You know what I mean? Make some new lyrics. Tell the man, you more our song, and the song for said this and that. Yeah, one woman song, turn around the lyrics from the woman to killing a soul or whatever. So vibes like that. You catch what I'm saying?
I agree with you 100%. And another thing that I see that doesn't really happen in sound clashes much, and I guess there's a reason why, but nobody no really play a girl song no more in a sound clash, and that used to be, and maybe because the woman no did it. Yeah, but you also have the Bounty Killer kind of girl song them, where the girl song them for man. You know, girl forget what any means and all, and them song that them girl song they now play in a dance. In sound clashes anymore. You know what I mean? Something would kind of change the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like kill, gunshot, rubber dub. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? That whole creative process is kind of gone. And this is just my opinion, right? But, you know, back in the days, a man...
You know what's funny? Chronic's daddy, Chronicle, was a Barrington Levy alternate.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, Chronic's himself, you can look program. We can't get Chronic's, but wait. Chronic's father was a Barrington Levy. You know what I mean? If you couldn't get Barrington Levy, then you were Vice Chronicle.
Back in the days when we were growing up, right? If you could not get an artist because the artist was just, you know, maybe like a Chronix that only does limited amount of dub plates, and, you know, you have to be, you know, of a status or whatever to get dubs. Because people complain that they can't get Chronix dubs for whatever reason, right? Right? Back in the days, I'm on when I say, all right, me can't get Chronix. Me I go and work with the artist here and tell me can't get my Chronix tune them. You know what I mean? Now, everybody sits and mopes that, oh, Chronix now do no tune for a star run. Boy, me can't get no Chronix. Me send my money, got studio, and me can't get no Chronix. What happened to making another artist? That's what we used to do. We used to find an alternative artist to fill in. You know what I mean? That's just what it was.
I mean, let's face it. We hear Metro Media play John Mouse when him couldn't get Cocoa Tea. We hear Black Cat play Luke and Scissors are going like him.
But Panther was the greatest. Him did have Yellow Bird, him have this, him have that. And he worked with what he had. Exactly. And guess what? Because of his presentation, because of how confident he was, the sound them used to, you know, Trooper said a years he might play Turbo Belly Panjaro because he couldn't get Caputan for voice no tune for Jaro. You know what I mean? But today we sit there and we bitch and moan that, oh, we can't get Chronix, or we can't get this, or we can't get that. Go find some artists and vice, man, and kill some sound. Call it alive.
His artist price is too high, Chin. Even if he start off low, when you make him get high, he gonna charge you the high price too. The same one who you helped build.
Yeah, but by the time him get big, you're gone to another artist.
You don't get to him, forget already.
Yeah, man. Voice some artists and kill some sound, brother. Call it alive.
Put a go voice. And copy artist.
Yup.
Well, that's not what we're saying, Jimmy. I'm not saying.
No.
I'm not. No. Let me. Before you say a word, Jimmy, let me, because I know when man I talk to you, man I have to shoot sharp, right? Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying instead of sitting there and complaining that you can't get Chronix because you have enough money for Vice 20 and Chronix only say a 2 song in my do, right? Go look another artist that has that cultural. You know, whatever, and start presenting him and see if you can boss him.
All right. First of all, some of the comparisons and stuff that y'all are making are kind of unfair. Like, okay, Ricky Trooper took Anthony B when he was a nobody, but let's be honest. Anthony B is a legendary artist. It's not like he got lucky, Chin. It's not like he went and picked Zidane Ting and bust him. Anthony B is a great. It's not going to be easy for anybody to just go any, meeny, miny, mo and pick somebody that's actually as talented.
Yeah, but Jimmy, we can't call it luck, Jimmy, because he also did it with Sizzler. He also did it with Luciana. We can't call that luck.
Well, hold on. So, all right, you just named 3 dudes he did it with, right?
I think about the amount of people that he sailed with. See, y'all put the blanket statement like nobody is trying, and I don't think that's accurate. The people are trying with their young artists.
No, I'll agree with Jimmy because I hear him play Shane Hussein in a dance and him present him as a new artist. So I'm not say everybody not trying Jimmy, but majority of them aren't trying. You know what I say? They're not. They must stick to the lanes where them know.
All right, y'all also talking about like changing lyrics of songs. Like that happens more today than it did back then, by far. Like songs nowadays are changing lyrics and songs. I don't know what y'all when y'all saying sounds are not being creative. Sounds are being very creative.
No, Jimmy, let's talk back and forth though, because I want to make a point when you make a point.
Sounds are rewriting songs like crazy to the point where the artists are trying to take advantage of it. Like, oh, if you rewriting this and this, they want more money.
But here's the thing now, Jimmy. When I'm speaking from my perspective, I don't know what perspective Drew's coming from, right? When I say that the sounds are not being creative, right? Say you got, I don't know. Let's say My Dream, because that was a big one, right? You got My Dream, and Jimmy, you wrote it over, and I wrote it over, right? You said that you're creative with your My Dream, I'm creative with mine. But guess what? When your My Dream play, mines can't play. To me, that's not being creative. Back in the days when just hear me out. Hear me out. Back in the days when we're countering a song, we're making the songs that don't matter when Jimmy drop his, mines are gonna play. Whether it now getting a forward or not is a different thing. So when you're saying that we're writing over songs, Jimmy, we're writing them over, but a lot of them still sound alike.
Nah, I don't see the problem. I don't. Back in the days compared to now, what's the difference is people are using the same artists to counteract the same song.
Yes.
They didn't used to do that back in the day. You used to could use two artists that were rival artists, and you would play this artist, and I would play that artist to rival that artist.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I can agree that's not happening, but that didn't used to happen. The rewriting of the song thing, like nowadays, if a song usually plays, the crowd don't want to hear it back. Usually, it don't care how it's rewritten and all of that, and which I kind of agree. If a song play, it play. I don't really want to hear it five times.
That's true. Like, but all right, Jimmy, here what? Let me ask you a question.
I do agree that people need to start getting creative, like as far as using opposite artists to counteract songs.
Yeah, because I was just thinking a while ago. You see, like how we said My Dream a while ago, automatically in my head, me said the counteract, and for that song they're supposed to go Nightmare, something like that, to kill you in your dream, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But even with that, like I'd rather if a song play, we just say bye bye to it and we.
Yeah, well, it ain't gonna happen, son. He might go want two food.
Yeah, and that's what happens. Like especially the dancers, like the commercial, like the big, like the stage dances, like a rumble type of dance. You will have somebody like 5 different people to cut the custom, and everybody like, yo, I'm playing mine, and that's what happens. It'll play 5 times, like so. I'd rather go back to where people are using like rival artists to counteract.
No, but Jimmy, let me say something earlier. I'm not advocating for a man go get no carbon enough. But sometimes say a man voice might in at the same range, like how we just said Sanchez and Singing Bird, right? Nobody now tell us enough to introduce your song as a Singing Bird, enough.
Yeah, but what y'all asking us to do is suicide. And y'all don't. I don't know if y'all realize it's suicide. If a man go play Chronics and I turn around and say, "Well, this artist's name is Ziding Pig. He sounds just like Chronics." Hear that one?
Well, you know what? You gonna have to sell it, Jimmy. Cause guess what? Jimmy, sell weed on Terry Linen.
Jimmy, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, Jimmy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to commit suicide. What I'm merely saying is that, and maybe you're not this, but you've heard this, because I've heard it. Artists, selectors bitching and moaning that them have them money for Vice Chronics and can't get for Vice Chronics and Chronics. Right? To me, the next best option that can protect you from getting killed by a Chronics in a dance. Because you can't get chronics.
I mean, those artists are there. It's just that where we are, the region where we live, those artists, people are either afraid to play or they kind of won't get that kind of love. The Kabaka Pyramid, Dre Island, Jesse Royal, and those artists, people only know one, if any, song from those artists. You know.
But then Jimmy, you what me gonna say about that, right? You're a presenter of music. You see me I say so you have to relate to them people that say, and that's where I come from before. It's like, yo, you have to inner this and people have to believe you when you sell it. So yeah, they might not know the Jesse Ryle, but yo, your personality and character supposed to can stand up and say, yo, oh, this is what you need for ear. You know what I say? And I ain't seeing it too often.
It's not happening. Boy, Jimmy.
It's the game. Yo, it ain't even happening. Y'all saying it. I can't just put that on this era. It ain't been happening for a while. It ain't been happening for a while. Ain't nobody, you can't really name no, like y'all keep saying, yeah, well, Trooper, Bus, Anthony B, like you can't really, outside of Trooper, who else? Who, like, you only can name a handful of selectors over the history of time that really took artists and put them out there like that. And so, like, to try to put it on this era is kind of being a little bit unfair.
No, but Jimmy, there's two eras. There's only two eras. You gotta look at it. No, just hear me. Just hear me out. Hear me out, and then you talk. Just hear me out, right?
Okay.
There's only two eras, Jimmy, right? Everybody, when we speak about the Troopers and the Mataran and the Lynx and the Squingies and the Bass Odysseys or whoever, it seems like it was a long time ago, Drew, but it's really not. That's the era before the era that we live in, right?
But
so
hold on, wait. But it wasn't. But shit, it wasn't yesterday. It was 20 years ago.
No,
bro.
but this is what the last era. It's like your mother comparing you to your big brother. That's just what it is. It's not like hold on. It's not like we're comparing Josie Wales to Idonia because we know say Bounty Killer and Beanie Man and Capleton, they come in at the middle of that. We're comparing the last era to the era now.
But all right, but you're doing that. But here's what you're leaving out. This is the big thing you're leaving out, Chin. Artists were groomed in studios. Artists were groomed in studios. You could go to a studio and see 500 of them there at one time. That day is done. So that we missing that. We missing that. So like, I can tell you this off experience, Chin. I can tell you this off of experience. You can have an artist that will have a 5-5 on a rhythm. The song won't swell, let alone bust. It won't do. The song won't have no traction. You can break your neck to find that artist and say, "We want to work with you." And Chin, they act like they literally will say to you, "Are you come look for me? So when me I ask for you, I forgive me." Now come on, y'all can say what y'all want, bro. Artists back then were not like that, and that's a hell of a hurdle to have to jump over.
I agree.
To think to yourself, yo, this dude don't have nothing going on for him. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to offer him this opportunity. And he act like you a major label looking and he's popping. And like, yo, and it's not like a small, most of the artists do that.
We gotta find, and Jimmy, I know that you get annoyed, but it's just the reality. And I want everybody who feels Jimmy's way to just look at what it is, right? We are comparing the generation of sounds to the was, the Matarans and the Fire Lynxes and whoever, and then what's going on now. So it's not like we're skipping over a whole generation of people in the middle. You know what I mean? So that comparison is going to happen forever, Jimmy.
I understand that, but I'm going to prove to you that it's different and it's not so easy. All of these people that you're naming, Chin, guess what? They're still active now. And guess what they're not doing? They ain't busting no new talent, Chin. Why? Not because they don't want to. It's harder. It's not as easy. Especially if you listen to Ricky Trooper boring-ass show. All he do is try to play new artists. I give him that. Trooper will, if it's something he likes, he's going to play it and beat it and beat it. But yo, if you look and notice, it's hard to happen compared to before.
I
I'm
agree.
not telling people to give up at all. Pick up my Artistry new song to the world. Come here, push him career.
But that's what you gotta do, though. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
Big up to Shane, man. Big up to Shane. Big up to Shane. Big up yourself, Jimmy. 718-554-8598.
Yo, I don't dispute what Jimmy is saying. Back in the days, like we all said, we love to use that like a term there. You could go to the studio and have a bag of man there. You can pick and choose, and they willing to work, because back then the sound system was the way through the gate.
Everybody was hungry.
Exactly. The sound system is not the way through the gate right now. It's YouTube, and the next day we have to get through the gate is to be a juggler where I play 4 or 5 times a week. So here's a clash, man. It's hard upon you. You know what I mean? Artists are gonna give people them song for boss who them feel can benefit them. It's a use situation. So if you're a clash, man, you better find a way to get used.
718-554-8598. Now, myself and Drew, we take time out to do this show on a Thursday. Of course, put 2 hours aside just to have sound system conversation. Those of you in the chat room, if you enjoy the show, please give us some ones in the chat room. If you don't, just give us some zero. Worth the time, you know what I mean? 718-554-8598 is the number in studio. Those of you, I know that many of you come into the chat room right away at 6 o'clock. Let us know if you enjoy what the conversation here, and feel free to add to the conversation at any time, right? Yeah. Gotta remind you about the UK Cup, the UK Rumble. I keep saying Cup Clash. The UK Rumble taking place on June 17th. Platinum Kids Immortal, Platinum Cartel. Sorry. Imagine if we end up with 2 platinum on the world class stage.
Oh boy.
Platinum Cartel, Immortal, 4x4 Ecstasy, Natural Affairs, Classique, Local Sample, 6 sound systems. 6 sound systems going for the ultimate title, of course, the ultimate chance to go on that world-class stage and represent.
And then take it to the cruise. If you win the world clash, you see it on the boat.
Yes. Now, again, those of you who are in the chat room, give us the ones, give us the zeros. We're big enough to take if you want to give us a zero, but I want to know if it's worth it to come in every day, every week, and sit down and have these
y'all let me know, because I could be in the gym getting diesel.
Yes, we could be doing other things. You know what I mean? We could definitely be doing other things. So please let us know if, we're doing a good job, and if we're not doing a good job, tell us.
Yo, people, here we go on, man. UK Rumble. Hear me, I tell you, UK Rumble, bad sound from the Badlands. Someone say, UK Rumble, you ready? Do the right thing, roll out. Killy sound is back again now.
Immortal, the voice of Immortal, getting ready, of course, for the Rumble in the UK.
Yo, you see the 17th of the month, June, every sound face I get kick off. The World Sound Ecstasy 4x4, I represent for the UK. So no boy, nobody feel like there's some play war. Coming in and no chattings with no guy. Me I go in another war there for kick off every sound guy face. I was some boy feel like.
And I'm proud because this is the kind of drops that we wanted to get from the US Rumble contestants. You know what I mean? This is the kind of drops.
Yo, but
them drops out.
But they in a sound chat room today in a WhatsApp group, right? And one of the sound them from US Rumble. Out of nowhere, drops his logo. I'm like, why? Like, Bridget, Clash gone. What are you promoting?
Kind of like, remember me?
Like, what are you promoting? Like, the dance is gone, dog. We don't want to hear that fire again. like, good.
Oh, man. US Rumble 2017. We spoke about it for weeks. We argued about it for months. What is a juggling sound doing on a sound clash stage? Everybody was asking the question, and now the winner, the champion of the 2017 US Rumble has been determined. And guess what? It's the Juggling Sound Platinum Kids. We got to talk about it. I see the look on your face, Marcos. You're happy. You're overwhelmed. I saw you pulling off the tunes, them quick and fast. On to play some tune where some people didn't even think you guys had. What was the experience like on your first official sound clash?
The thing was mad, I'm not lie. As I said,
I tell them already, say yes, we juggle, but this is what we grew up on. This is what made me love music. And this right there, so make me play music. I mean, I tell you the truth, right now, I want to fight for bring back this and make it what it was. I swear to God.
How did you feel tonight? Boy, overwhelmed. Joyous. Too much different emotions, me not lie. But I'm just glad for the opportunity. Irish and Chin, thank you for the opportunity. The whole of the sound man, them day and the thing. Just big up on yourself, you understand? It's all about love and unity in the sound community.
Why do you think you won? Because I think we just bring a different energy, and that is what the sound clash culture is missing right now. You understand? Remember me tell you on the radio, say, yes, we might not have the most songs, we might not have the biggest songs, but we still have the energy, and that energy come from the love of the music. So the man them just know, say, I just that we need back in our thing. We need back the energy, the people have to feel the vibes. You understand me? I say.
You were playing the tunes them in the tune for tune. At one time you got up to about 4-0. Then I saw you lost a couple, it got a little shaky. And the crowd was saying, boy, me want that platinum, I gotta take it. Me want if them. And when you lost that first song, everyone in the crowd was like, them run out that tune. Tune them done. And then you guys came back in it, and now that you are going to World Clash.
World Clash.
What did that feel like, that tune for tune? I guess that was your first tune for tune in your career.
Well, me not guess that the first tune for tune in my career, but definitely the most important.
Same.
110% the most important. And the world will never forget that tune for tune, because the tune for tune bring the juggling sound to World Clash.
And this alone make me
World
can't run
Clash.
in on this.
Hey,
People, yo, me feel like a pro daddy. I swear to God, me feel like a pro daddy. Yo, no fun don't even know. You see the first US Rumble, and that little boy had that mix for me. So your second trophy, I second one. Them man I can tell you, I will first put them in a one dance and say Platinum Kids. Very first big dance, Young Ark Sound Trooper. We put them on and say juggle and warm up, and then know them up on stage. Me feel like a proud daddy. I swear to God. Yo, bless Bronx. Say, yeah.
I have no fear. Sound chat is it. Sound chat radio. Sound chat no fear. No sound chat no fear. Sound chat no fear. No sound chat run here.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I guess we'll talk again on Friday.
No rest for the weary, boy.
No rest for the weary. And I gotta say it, man. All roads lead to the Platinum Kids Victory Party. Definitely proud of them. It's a game changer. So tonight inside the garage, Platinum Kids celebrates winning the US Rumble, which is not only big for them, of course, but it's also big for us here at Irish and Chin. It shows that our vision for Sound Clash culture is definitely moving forward. 718-554-8598. Please keep the number locked into your phone until we talk again. It is Sound Chat Radio. Big up to everyone.
Yo, Sound Chat! When I listen on board, I'm just make be alone chat. It's all out, you know, when the guns neck. Huh? Yo, I just gotta say, it's a big but mighty Sound Chat. None of mercy, clown don't get that. So me say, radio boy make me tell you this straight. Sound chat come fi kill you. Go and go cool. Don't play it we are gonna use and damage your sound and abuse you. It's best you cool. Radio boy make me tell you this straight. Sound chat going to kill you. Go and go cool. Don't play it we are gonna use and damage your sound and abuse you. Hey, when they run up in a this contract register. In a them cause with them niece, them sister. Hasta la vista, spin like twister. Copper take the fool them like no constrictor. Mr. Sinister, mad like Hitler. Sound chat squeeze till them finger blister. Change like the weather but me no rifle, Mr. Kill. Movie and barista. Well, where your boy make me tell you this straight sound chat going to kill you. Go and go cool. The plate we are gonna use and damage your sound and abuse you. Well, sound clash this on no radio. In a go plate sound chat I go beard you. You a big cup but you lick afraid you. Go plate I wash them like tornado you. So me tell them, sound boy make me tell you this. Sound chat come fi kill you. One go cold, the plate we are gonna use and damage your sound and abuse you. Bless your cool radio boy, make me tell you this straight sound chat I go kill you.
Yeah, now greetings to the world, voice of the one called Big Gangzilla. You listen to Sound Chat Radio, you know what I'm saying? Enough love, enough love, enough love, enough love.